In the heart of the great savannah, the rains had become a distant memory, leaving behind only the scorching heat of a relentless sun. The once vibrant landscape was now a mosaic of dust and withered trees, their skeletal branches reaching upward as if pleading with the heavens. The animals of the kingdom were reaching the limits of their endurance. A great elephant stood motionless, his heavy skin hanging in weary folds. Nearby, a slender deer panted in the shade of a rock, her graceful spots dulled by the fine red dust that coated everything. But amidst the desperation, a slow and steady figure emerged. Teno the tortoise moved with a quiet purpose that others had long since lost. He did not rush, nor did he complain. Instead, he studied the patterns of the dry ground and the subtle scent of the morning air. Teno gathered the skeptical animals together. He told them he had found the scent of deep water beneath the hard, baked clay. The monkey laughed loudly, swinging his tail. "Why listen to the slowest creature when we have the fastest runners among us?" he asked. Ignoring the ridicule, Teno led them across the shimmering plains. He stopped at a seemingly ordinary patch of earth and signaled to the elephant. With the last of his strength, the elephant began to dig where the tortoise pointed, his massive tusks breaking the stubborn surface. Suddenly, a cool, dark moisture appeared. Then, with a joyful roar, a geyser of clear water gushed upward into the thirsty air. Life returned to the savannah in an instant. The animals drank their fill, their spirits rising with every refreshing drop of the spring. Seasons passed, and the forest recovered its lush, emerald beauty. The drought was over, but the memory of Teno's wisdom remained. To honor their savior, the lion called for a grand celebration. The animals gathered under the shade of the great ancestor tree. The lion stood tall, his golden mane glowing in the sunlight. He spoke of Teno's insight and thanked him for saving the kingdom. Teno sat quietly at the lion's feet, a humble smile on his face. He sought no glory, only the well-being of his friends. However, as the lion concluded his speech, he could not resist a playful jab. He teased Teno about his slow and heavy walk. The crowd rippled with light laughter. Even after being saved, the animals still equated speed with strength and agility with importance. The monkey, ever the opportunist, seized the moment. He began to leap frantically from branch to branch, showing off his incredible speed. "Look at me," he cried. "I can reach the top of the canopy before Teno can even take 10 steps. The crowd cheered for him. The atmosphere shifted from a celebration of wisdom to a contest of vanity. Teno watched the display with a peaceful, unbothered expression. He knew that speed was a gift, but he also knew that speed without direction was like a river that had lost its banks. The monkey continued his show, jumping further and faster, desperate to prove that he was the true star of the forest. But as the laughter died down, Teno finally spoke. His voice was not loud, yet it carried to the furthest corners of the clearing. "You are indeed fast, my friend," Teno said gently, "but your talent depends entirely on the closeness of the trees you jump between. What happens when the trees are far apart, or when the ground is vast and open? True strength is not just movement, but endurance." The logic of his words hung in the air like a heavy mist. The monkey stopped his boasting and looked down at his own hands. A heavy silence fell over the animal kingdom. They began to realize that their mocking had been a shield for their own insecurity. The lion looked at the tortoise with newfound respect. He saw that Teno's slowness was actually a testament to his unwavering patience. A hyena, feeling the tension, tried to break the silence with a nervous joke, calling out a greeting to Mr. Wise in a shaky voice. A few animals offered forced, awkward laughter, but it quickly died out. The mood had changed from celebration to deep reflection. Without another word, Teno turned away. He did not need their validation, nor did he wish to argue his worth any further. The elephant watched him go, feeling a pang of guilt. He remembered how Teno had stayed when everyone else was ready to give up. The deer bowed her head. She realized that while she had the speed to flee, Teno had the strength to stay and find a solution. The clearing grew quiet as the animals dispersed, each carrying a heavy lesson in their hearts about the true nature of power. Teno continued his journey toward the horizon. To him, the path was always the same, whether he was praised or mocked. He knew that the world would always favor the loud and the fast, but the earth itself remembered the patient and the wise. As the stars began to appear in the darkening sky, Tenno reached a high point and looked back at the kingdom he had saved. True wisdom is not found in the roar of the lion or the leap of the monkey. It is found in the quiet heart. Remember that true wisdom is not loud. It is calm, patient, and above all, it is humble.